Every single morning, I've been waking up at the same time every single day.
Journaling will change your life.
My experiences with meditation.
But the real wisdom is in books.
Taking cold showers every day.
I also started journaling.
Quit drinking.
Exercise, eating healthy.
You should be reading.
Exercising.
No fat.
Mindfulness.
Journaling.
Journaling.
Meditation.
Reading. Books. Exercise.
Journaling.
Meditation. Reading. You're a loose pussy.
Now, you've heard of these habits plenty of times, but did you know there's one more essential step before getting started? It's reframing your mind to actually want to change, which is going to make self-improvement much more consistent and effortless.
Self-improvement is not working for you
Found my pen.
because you're not being honest with yourself. Let me elaborate. You have to be honest with yourself. Am I doing the good habits? Am I really not doing all these bad habits? You have to be honest with yourself. It's always good if you couple bad feedback with positive feedback. This is called the sandwich technique. You've probably done it in school already. One way of going about this is simply doing a SWOT analysis. Write down all your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. It's usually something that's used in business, but it can be applied on a personal level as well. Write down everything that you're good at, everything that you're bad at. Write down all your opportunities, which is outside factors that you can leverage to make your life better. In my case, this would be things like, I live in London, it's a huge city, there's lots of people that I can talk to, that can help me on my self-improvement journey with this channel, and so on. And then write down all your threats. This is things that hinder your progress, like toxic people, people that bring you down all the time, and so on. So this is how you can be more honest with yourself.
And what's also very important is that you view yourself as if you were another person. You know, it's just a lot easier to give feedback to other people and to yourself because you have this very subjective view. So just pretend you're another person, maybe do some journaling, talk to yourself in the mirror, label your emotions, and just do some self-reflection. And if you want a video on self-reflection, check this one out.
It's probably up here or up there.
Well, it's gonna be flipped, so wait, it's there. It's there.
Oh, it's right here.
It's up there.
We found the video, guys.
Yeah, up there. Check it out. Alright.
Now what's the next point that's hindering these little fellas from excelling in their self-improvement journey, Mr. Purple Deal?
So once you've become pretty honest with yourself, you now know all these different flaws you have. You now have a lot of things you want to work on, but you might get very overwhelmed with all these things, and that's where prioritization comes in. See, your attention is very scarce. You can't focus on every single thing. In fact, that's very counterproductive because you're going to lose quality in the most important things. You're not going to have enough focus on these important things. And how do you point out what the most important flaws or focuses are? So, one method is the 5-25 rule by Warren Buffett. It basically states that you want to write down your 25 goals in life and then arrange them in order. Then point out the top 5 and erase all the other ones. It doesn't make a lot of sense to have your attention just spread across all these different things when the top 5 things are the ones that you want the most.
Now the Pareto principle, it is something that you can do to actually find out what your top 5 goals are, which ones are the most important goals. You've probably heard about the Pareto principle. 20% of your efforts are going to make 80% of your outcome. And the other way around, these 80% of struggles, of hard work, are only going to produce an additional 20%. So what you want to do is you look at your 25 goals. You see which goals are the most important to you personally right now, and which ones are the ones that are going to give you 80% of the results. And you're just simply going to focus on those, the 20% of your goals that are going to give you 80% value. So those are 2 very important steps if you want to excel in your self-improvement journey. Now another thing is that you cannot be afraid of change. Now we humans naturally are scared of change. Honestly, it's a weird mentality, but when you think about it, when you were a little child, you probably wanted to become a firefighter or an astronaut or something that direction. Well, let me ask you something. Do you still want to become an astronaut? Do you really want to go out there, travel space and time, and find out about the dangers of the cosmos and the opportunities for humanity? Probably not. I mean, who wants that anyway, right? We don't want that here. Now, to be less scared of change, or at least not let this fear of change affect you, you're gonna start adapting some new habits. And this habit is called act now and apologize later. Do you find yourself gaining some interest in a certain sport, let's say martial arts that you want to do? Instead of thinking about how one day you're gonna do martial arts, how you're gonna sign up for martial arts after New Year's, simply go online, find a martial arts gym, and book a free trial lesson. Act now, apologize later. If this change turns out to be not that good after all, you can probably undo it afterwards. You can always apologize, right? But you have to start acting right now. Otherwise, you are never gonna change. And change is the one thing that you will always have in your self-improvement journey. You can't go without change because you're literally about to change your life.
And especially if you're younger, it's very important for you to take risks, because you usually don't regret the things that you did. You usually regret the things that you ended up not doing. So just take some more risks and let curiosity guide you. If you have a new idea, just go for it, act now, and apologize later. What's also very important is focusing on your barriers.
Your barriers?
Yes.
Interesting.
So you probably have some barriers in your life that stop you from being the best version of yourself. Mm-hmm. And those can be your friends or just some circumstances in life that aren't too great. For me personally, it was actually my friends. See, I wanted to leave social media for my mental health and productivity, but obviously my friends wouldn't like that if I just disappear. And the same goes for going out on parties, for example. I didn't really want to drink every weekend. I wanted to be more productive and use my time better, and my friends wouldn't have liked that. So what did I do? I just did it. I just disappeared. And I realized that a lot of these barriers are actually just mental. That, you know, when I come back, my friends are still going to be there. At least the real ones stayed around. So what you oftentimes want to do is just test your limits and just do whatever you want to do. And oftentimes you realize that a lot of these mental barriers are gone. Now, of course, not all barriers are mental. There are some physical barriers. And, well, that's where you can do a barrier analysis to eliminate these barriers. Basically just pointing out what the things in life are that are stopping you from reaching your goals, pointing them out, eliminating them, and becoming the best version of yourself.
Now, once you're done analyzing what your barriers are, you're no longer afraid of change. You prioritize your good goals and you're absolutely honest with yourself. You're probably going to start implementing all these good habits. But here is another problem, another danger. You might start to relapse. Now, you all know what relapsing is. It is if you simply stop doing the good habits and you start doing a bit of bad habits again. But let me ask you something. Is it really that bad? At least when done in moderation? See, 95% of all diets fail. And you know why they fail? It's because people go from having a really shit diet to having a really clean diet. And they might be able to pull it through for like a month. But then after a month, they see that nice little Snickers bar laying in front of them. And they just go ahead and they eat it. And you know what they do? They feel really shit about themselves. They feel like they just cheated on their diet and like all the progress is undone. Their streak, 30 days of eating really clean, has been broken. People like to think in streaks. They like to think, okay, I've been eating clean for 30 days and now the streak is broken. How am I ever going to get back up there? I don't want to eat clean for another 30 days now that all my motivation is gone. I'm basically back to square one. This is a common mistake. See, just because you ate that one Snickers doesn't mean that you're an unhealthy person. You just ate clean for 30 days. It's not like all this progress is undone. Thinking in streaks really destroys your motivation once you stop the streak. Instead, what you should be focusing on is consistency. Yeah, you can go 30 days eating really clean and then eat a Snickers here and there. As long as you keep your consistency consistently consistent.
And to the point of moderation, of course it's very good to start slowly. You want to maybe go from a bad diet to an okay diet, but you don't want to just stay at the okay diet. You want to actually make very big improvements. And the way to do that is progressive overload. Now, all my gym lads know this term. It's basically when you slowly make increments in the weight or the reps that you lift in the gym. And this can apply to any other part of self-improvement as well. So if you, for example, go from eating healthily 3 times a week to eating healthily 4 times a week, to eating healthily 5 times a week, and eventually 6 or 7 times, these tiny little increments will make it so much easier to go from bad to good with not too much effort. So now you have all these different tools, and you're probably used to being told you should do this, you should do that, and just having all these different things you need to do. But you just kind of lose all sight of what you can actually do, and you need a lot more structure in life. Now let me tell you how I got a lot more structure in my life. So what I did is I built myself a second brain. The concept of building a second brain comes from the book Building a Second Brain by Tiago Forte. And it basically states that you should make yourself a second brain. Meaning you put all your thoughts into, for example, a digital database like Notion. You put all your thoughts in there so you don't have to store them anymore. And then you have an ecosystem of everything that you ever thought, all the ideas you ever had. You have different resources in there, and it's all structured in one place. And you don't have to waste any brain power, any energy thinking about all these things, because it's very easy to get overwhelmed if you're holding onto all these things instead of just letting them down in here.
What Notion is also very good for is making your perfect structure for the day. Kind of like a routine, kind of like a schedule for your day. See, Ali Abdal has a task of the day. You basically find out what the most important task for today is. And this is your main focus. You really want to hammer this one down and get it done. And then he also has the might do. This is little things on his to-do list that he might do today, but it's not that bad if he doesn't finish them today. This way, mentally, you're always on top of your game. You feel better about yourself. And as we all know, when you feel on top of your game, you're much more productive, you're more motivated to get your work done, and stuff just simply flows for you.
Now, it's also very important to have some habits that are kind of non-negotiable. For me, that's, for example, going to the gym or doing my daily Duolingo lessons. And if you can also incorporate that into your daily schedule, because there are certain things that you don't really want to leave up to fate or up to your mood in that moment. There are some things that you just need to get done. Goal setting is what we mentioned earlier on. Now, goal setting is also a very good thing you can do in Notion. Basically just writing down your long-term, your short-term goals, even your intermediate-term goals, just to actually have things to strive for and know what you need to align your actions to.
Wow, what a banging episode. Don't forget to check out this video as well. We'll see you there.